Hey, it's Joe from VCAM TV Studios, and I keep hearing a lot of talk about an AEW video game. Is it going to be like No Mercy? Is it going to be on the Switch? Is it going to play like SmackDown? You know, we don't have that many details, and people keep asking. Kenny Omega hasn't provided that many answers, and neither has referee Aubrey. I guess we're going to get it when we get it. So stop asking Tony Schiavone in the post-show. So while we're waiting for this game to get made and come out, I thought it would be interesting if we took the entire AEW roster and assigned them a overall player rating. So this idea came to me when I saw a tweet from MJF that said he would be the #1 overall ranked superstar in an AEW video game. Was this true? Now my rankings are based on a 0 to 100 overall scale, much like the current WWE games. So who would be my highest overall? And I put together these power rankings the same way I think AEW does theirs. So let's start on our 100-point overall scale. And our highest ranked competitor, at 95, I would put Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley is a former AEW World Champion, but I can't rank Kenny Omega higher than him because we all know that wasn't a clean win. Our second highest overall, at 94, is Chris Jericho, the very first champion in AEW history. I have him lower than Moxley because, well, he lost to Moxley. Even though he has lost to some of our lower card superstars, I just believe that the way Chris Jericho is portrayed in AEW, if you face Chris Jericho on his game, he's hard to defeat. At our 93 rating, we have 3 superstars: Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. To honor the late Brodie Lee, we have to keep him in this game. All of them have lost world title matches, but have unbelievably good records overall. And to help out the family and provide them more royalties, -1 should be like one of those NPC characters, or maybe in a story mode you run into his character and he sends a Dark Order member after you. Now, if you're wondering why they are lower on the list, Moxley has defeated Brodie Lee and Kenny Omega. Jericho has defeated Cody. Now we drop another level to the 92s. This would include MJF, who's 1 point lower than Cody, even though he beat Cody. Overall, I feel Cody Rhodes has faced stronger competition. Then we have Lance Archer, who I put below Brodie Lee because Brodie Lee has won a title where Lance Archer has not. And finally, Hangman Adam Page, who was runner-up in the AEW Championship tournament. At 91, I would put Brian Cage, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, and the Bastard Pac. This would put the Young Bucks as the highest rated tag team. Brian Cage and Pac are always in the title scene, but have yet to win a championship, unless you count the FTW Championship, which is unofficial. At 90, you would put Jake Hager, Orange Cassidy, and the first female on this list, Hikaru Shida. Now these are some of the picks that could be argued a little higher or a little bit lower, as Hagar's in the title scene, but again, he doesn't win the big fights. Orange Cassidy could lose to somebody lower on our list, or pull off the upset against Jericho and take Cody to his limit. At 89, I put Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, and Riho. Again, this is one of those instances where you can beat the 90s to 91s, but you could also lose to the 88s to 86s. Riho is the second highest women's competitor on our list because she doesn't have as great of a win-loss record. Now, Darby Allin and Jungle Boy are lower on the list because they have quite a few L's when facing higher competition. At 88, I put Wardlow, more based on inexperience than being that much worse than Jake Hager. Our second highest rated tag team of Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, FTR, Luchasaurus, Penta L0M, Rey Fenix, Scorpio Sky, The Beast, Nyla Rose, and even though we haven't seen much of him yet, based on where he was in the other company, I would put Miro at 88. At 87 overall, I would put Matt Hardy, Santana and Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, and Dr. Britt Baker. The 87 is a reflection of their overall win-loss records, which aren't pristine, but they do face higher level competition than, say, when we get to the Gun Club. At an 86 overall, I have Awesome Kong, Brandy Rhodes, based on her superior win-loss record, Chuck Taylor, Trent, Colt Cabana, Kip Sabian, Ricky Starks,
In a partnership with NWA, Thunder Rosa,
and Shawn Spears. Again, like my 87s, these guys are also always in the title picture, the title hunt, and they win quite a bit on Dark, but maybe not so much when it hits the main show. Now at 85 overall, this is where we hit the real middle of the pack. We got The Butcher, The Blade, Christopher Daniels, Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Kingston, Evil Uno, Frankie Kazarian, Isaiah Cassidy, Marco Stunt, Mark Quinn, Stu Grayson, Penelope Ford, Chris Statlander, Allie, Big Swole, Emi Sakura, and Matt Sydal. Again, like the 87 and 86, a lot of wins on Dark, maybe not so much on the main show, and they actually may even occasionally lose one on Dark as well when they face a higher level competition. At 84 overall, we got Will Hobbs, Sonny Kiss, The Legend, Billy Gunn, Taz's favorite wrestler, Abaddon, Ivelisse, Diamante. Now with a lot of these guys, they get all their wins on Dark, and sometimes get used as cannon fodder when it's the main show. Or they don't have enough experience or wins under their belt to be ranked any higher. At 83, I have Jack Evans, Angelico, QT Marshall, Anna Jay, and Joey Janela. These are the guys that even have a mixed record on Dark. At an 82 overall, I have Serpentico, Luther, Austin Gunn, and Serena Deeb. At 81, I have Michael Nakazawa and Tay Conti.
At 80, The Magic Girl.
At 79 overall, I have Preston Vance, aka 10, and Alan Angels, aka 5. At 78, I have Shauna. At 77, I have Alex Reynolds and John Silver.
At 77, straight from your mama's kitchen, Red Velvet. And having made his debut, Colton Gunn.
And Mel. At 76, I have the Librarian, Leva Bates.
At 76, we have the newly signed team of Max Caster and Anthony Bowen.
Top Flight would also be 76.
And the tag team of Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr.
At 75, I have Brandon Cutler,
Lee Johnson, and Jade Cargill.
Nick Camarado would be a 75. And Bear Country would be 75.
Also ranked at 75 would be Pretty Peter Avalon's bodyguard, Cesar Bononi.
And finally, at 74, I have the Librarian, Peter Avalon.
Joining the Librarian at the bottom of the barrel is Killian King and the Captain Sean Dean. Okay, so let's get crazy now. Rebel competed, so let's put her at 72. And we'll go with MJF's main eventing lawyer, Mark Sterling. Now, unlike other companies' wrestling games, I think if you were to do a story mode, instead of starting off facing guys like Luther and Angelico, you should go with actual jobbers.
Now, I also hope that they add some of the regular Dark extras.
Fabu Andre, Fuego del Sol, Danny Jordan, Ryzen, D3, Robert Anthony. I think it would be great exposure for these type of people, and at the same time, you could actually do a proper story mode. Of course, we'd probably max out their rankings at 70. Now, since AEW takes a lot of influence from WCW, why not do it in the video game world? So, like WCW vs. the World, you could almost make AEW vs. the World. Get a partnership with some of these smaller leagues who would have trouble getting a video game license. Continue your partnership with NWA and include some of their roster. Maybe sign legends that are not under contract with Titan. Also, for the love of God, if you're starting a whole new engine and trying to fix things that have been broken for years, can we please have a Battle Royal / Rumble that it's more than 8 people? Seriously, Dead Rising has been out for like 15 years, and they figured out how to have a ton of people on screen. How come video games are still maxed out at 8? Also, could it be a little bit more than attack, dump over the top rope? Could we actually have like a real struggle back in these things again? Make the mode actually fun?
I don't know, this was just a creative exercise for me. If you agreed with my list, let me know. If you think somebody should be ranked higher or lower, tell me in the comments. As always, like, click, and subscribe. I have a playlist that's all wrestling talk. and a suggested video, probably the same campaign ad that I made for MJF that he featured on his Twitter.
Jon Moxley promised a paradigm shift.
This is what you call a paradigm shift.
Hey, it's Joe from VCAM TV Studios. Like, click, and subscribe. Obviously, there is a suggested video that I think closely resembles what you just watched. A playlist that, if you checked out, I think you would enjoy.